Hi everyone, I'm Kerry from KD Occassions, and today I am joined with the gorgeous Diane Parker from Busting Life's Challenges. And we are going together show you all how you can revamp your Christmas decorations and using fresh foliage. I can't wait. And we are going to spray like mad.
I can't wait.
It's gonna be fun.
I love sparkles. See, I've got Christmassy already.
Yes. I need to get my Santa hat on.
Okay. Well, we'll be back in a moment.
We'll be back in a moment, folks.
We're going to set up to spray.
I just left Di in the other room because I'm going to show you how to spray. Well, not basically how to spray, but the before and after. This one is just ferns that are going brown and dead. So I picked them and then I sprayed them, and I've used the silver with this one because it's for another project that I'm working on for someone else's home. So that's the before and that's the after. And all we used, any kind of gold spray, you can use any color you want. The choice is actually yours. And make sure you're in a very well ventilated room. That's why I've left Di in the other room. And even open the windows, but try and do it where you're not going to be staying in the same room, because the spray can get quite intoxifying and it takes hours for the smell to actually die down. So even if you do it in your garage, and because it's so cold, bring them in then to dry off, but just try and do the spraying where it's ventilated. So this one, I'm using gold metallic spray to spray this. And all you do is you give it a really good shaking, which I've done before, because it is rather noisy. And then hold it a little bit away and make sure you've got your surfaces covered, because once this hits a surface, you're not going to get it off. Okay? So hold it away just a few inches and spray. You can do both sides, or if only one side is going to be showing off, just do the one side. Now, once this is dried, these actually don't need water. They will stay like this until Christmas and New Year is over. Now, some might need 2 coats, but it depends really on what you're looking for. So you can always layer it up with different numbers of coats. The other, now this is, don't forget, this is all fresh foliage that I have picked up off the bushes and off the ground, because we had high winds just yesterday, and a lot of the stuff that I have was actually lying on the ground where they had blown off the trees. Because I'm using glittery gold, it is going to need several coats. But if you're using, like I have here, the purple, which I'll do this, or take off the leaves as well, because we don't need those. The purple. So I'm doing another one, and this time it's going to be silver, and it's metallic, like the mirror spray silver, because it's beautiful against the fairy lights. Because the mirror effect in the silver just makes the foliage twinkle that little bit more. I love using the mirrored glass silver spray. I love it. And there it is. Leave it to dry. And remember, if you're doing it outside in a garage or even outside in the garden, not on a windy day, I wouldn't, because the spray will go everywhere but where you want it. Then bring them in to dry. because in this cold weather, they won't dry that quick. And here's the hydrangea that I've sprayed before with the purple. Again, you can put as many layers on as you like, but I quite like the rustic look with the purple on the hydrangea. And again, this doesn't need watered. Once you've sprayed it, like all the other foliage, it will last right through even till next year, believe it or not. And that goes for all that we've sprayed. So just using the flowers, etc., as part of your decor is perfect. But I will be showing you a new style that is coming for Christmas trees. It's going to be a new trend for 2022, but I'll show you that in another upcoming podcast and workshop. Okay, we're going to go back into the room now, and I'll show you how you can use what we've just sprayed using the polystyrene ring that you saw earlier.
Right, so Kerry's just come back into the room, having sprayed some bits and pieces, and she's going to show me now how to put this wreath together.
Now, remember, we said at the very beginning of the segment, it's a polystyrene wreath. And it works perfect. It doesn't have to be expensive. Even the cheap works. But I've added wet floral oasis. Because we're using natural foliage, we want to keep it alive and fresh and beautiful looking. So with the florists, first you soak it in water for about 4 hours and then just let it drain because it's submerged and it soaks up all the water and it stays wet then for weeks on end. And if it does dry out, just keep touching it. If you are feeling it's drying out, give it a little bit of drink, not whiskey or sherry. Just spray some water on it.
Yeah.
And that's all.
I'm really surprised it's for 4 hours because I thought it might have gone to mush.
No. And the longer you soak it, the more it soaks up because it absorbs and it's quite thick.
Yeah.
So I've just cut this up. You can get them in the squares, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I've just cut this up in like a semicircle because we're doing a wreath. Then our beautiful, beautiful fresh foliage. Really Christmassy. I love Christmas. I actually love all Christmas decorations. I really do. So I've used pins, actually dies, hairdressing pins, to hold everything in place. Then I have stuck the end of the branch into the oasis, and that's where it gets well intoxicated with water. So then wrap it around like that, if you can see, and then pin it in place. Now, if you haven't got pins, you can go to the chemist and get some of the hairdressing clips. And just wrap it around like that. The other end, take off the leaves, the other little twigs. And then just inside that as well. Actually, we'll do it this side. Wrap it round like so. Now, if you're finding it's not being as supple as you want, you can clip where it's refusing to bend. Just clip it off and then clip that bit in place and then start again. And this one's going to get clipped in place because it's misbehaving. Don't be afraid to, sometimes you got to be tough. You don't have to be gentle. Sometimes they can be like naughty children. And they are my babies. Everything I do is my babies. So Bring it round the two together like that, even, and then pin in place. Naughty. Like so. And you keep doing that until you've got the poly. This one is trying to escape. Does not want to play ball and dies.
I'm wrecking the joint. She's
wrecking the joint as well. She's joining in. But it is all about, do it with your girlfriends, do it with your kids. It's about having fun.
I think the postman's just arrived, so I'm just going to nip out because we've got debris on the drive. Just to show you it's all live.
And then we've got the actual base now of the actual covering, right? Now we are going to add to this, obviously. But what you can do now is the smaller branches, just pop in the wet oasis and then just follow it round. You can if your pins are long enough, you can put quite a few bits of your display in one pin. Now, remember, you don't have to copy exactly what I'm doing because everyone has different tastes. So, I love Pinterest. Pinterest, I love. Have you ever tried Pinterest?
No, I get fed up with it.
Oh, no, I love it. You can get so many ideas. And then you can mix and match the ideas. Bit of this, a bit of that. And what's fun is you can, with your girlfriends, you can have a slumber party and each make your wreaths or your table centers.
It's a good idea.
Over a bottle of wine or your favorite Vimto. Now, here again, more fresh foliage. And this is great and it works brilliant with the wet oasis. Again, cut it down to size and then use each bit of foliage. Hope you can all see okay. Now you can make it as flat or as high as you want, but just to show you, we're going to be using a tall vase. So that will sit like that. Okay. Now, for health and safety, make sure if you're using a naked flame, make sure that it's not close to your foliage because it will cause a fire. Okay. So just to forewarn you, don't let a naked flame near your foliage because it will literally go up in smoke. And unless you want, it's at this point, get your fairy lights, okay? Because we're going to hide the batteries, but you want to keep it underneath, okay? Because if you need to change the batteries, it's easy done, okay? But make sure that the part, just leave that much free so that you've got room to change the batteries. So here we go. Again, use your clips or your stems just like you do on a Christmas tree. And it's all sparkly, twinkly. And when of an evening time with the dim lights, it really does come to life at night. It's like the naughty elves. Once you get it around, then you can fix it all in place once everything when it's all finished. Now remember the things we sprayed before? Well, this is them now. Again, I found these little acorns just lying on the park grass. And we just insert like that. Okay. Again, I sprayed these gold so they won't really need any water because they won't die. So, and again this, see this? Just break that off. I think we'll put these down here, play about and see. Like that. And with the polystyrene, these things you can literally stick in and they don't need pegged in. This is the hydrangeas that I sprayed gold. They were like a blue originally. I'm going to show you the whole way round once we're finished. I'm looking for the Oasis. There we go. Use the Oasis even for the ones that aren't real because it helps to keep them in place. And always use your other branches of your ferns or whatever to just keep them in place. Now, the ferns that we sprayed before, we're going to pop in like this. Hope you can all see what I'm doing because I'm concentrating.
So how long have you been doing this for, Kerry?
I have been doing it as a hobby for friends and families for about most of my life, about 30 years.
And what made you decide to do this now as your business?
Because I needed a change of career.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone had always said to me over the years, Kerry, why aren't you doing this as a business? But I was so engrossed in my own, because I had a training yard of horses and I also did nursing care. So I was so focused on those that I wasn't ready to take on a commitment like this.
Mm-hmm.
But then I had to retire from the horses through a non-horse injury. And I was giving up nursing care. So I thought, well, why not? What best time to start it? So I thought, right, I'll give it a go. And voila, here I am. I'm loving every single minute of it. Love it.
Well, I've seen some of the displays you've done for weddings and absolutely stunning.
Thank you. I just love bringing ideas to life. I really, from nothing. I love empty spaces, and then you can create any space. Any space can be created into something magical. And that's what I love. I just love bringing an empty space to life. Again, use your natural branches in your foliage to make everything sit. And then see if you've got one that's sticking up like that and you're going, oh no, I don't want you to sit like that. Bit of string. Tie a knot on one end. And then just bring it round like that. And we're going to do the same with these yolks. And just wrap it around the branch of your foliage. It doesn't have to be tight, because remember, you're not really going to be moving it about that much. So and then this one we're going to put.
So where do you get Oasis from?
Any florist shop will have the wet Oasis. You can get dried Oasis as well, but for fresh foliage, you actually want the wet. So go to any florist, and they will, if they don't have any in stock, then they will order you some. That's not a problem. You can also get it on the internet, but these days I do like to shop local. So your local florist will be the perfect one. Actually, even Riley's in Braddon, I've got some wet Oasis from there before as well. So again, it's your own personal taste, how you want it, how you want to decorate. This is more of a rustic look. And let the lights, use the lights to also keep your foliage in place. And as I say, don't be shy. You don't have to be so overly gentle with everything, because they are they're tougher than what they look. And as I say, at night is when the fairy lights really come into the room, isn't it?
I love lights.
I do. Oh.
Sometimes I leave mine up.
Do you know what I do?
Especially into January when we're starting to feel a wee bit down again.
Yeah.
Just to cheer myself up, I'll leave my lights out.
Yeah. I mean, who says you can't use them all year round? And do you know what I also do, guys? You see my favourite Christmas decorations that, you know, these days, a lot of the Christmas decks you can keep out all year and no one knows, you know, like the deers. And then I've got like black and silver little Christmas trees. They're about that height and about that width. And I actually keep them out all year round. Why keep something so beautiful in a box?
Yeah.
For 11.5 months of the year.
True. Wow.
And you can see it starting to take its own little life now. And you can either keep adding or taking away. And where you see that's the lights, I'm going to pop them in the middle. where you see you've still got a bit of polystyrene that you see, just break off and just add. And remember, if you haven't got any pins to keep them in place, then use the string, which is what I'm going to do now.
I'm just going to nip off and get I've got an artificial candle. Drop in that.
Ah, yeah. And if you do think that your fresh foliage is dying, you can always take it out and get the new, go pick some new and just freshen it up.
Got a visitor as well.
Hello, Ruby. Ruby has come to join us. This is Di's dog, Ruby. Yes. You can say hello,
Ruby.
Ruby.
I got these from that shop, the polystyrene.
Oh, yeah.
They came in a set of 3 different sizes, and that's the bigger size.
Well, they can actually be set even around.
Oh, yeah.
This is a good idea. You can set them around. Now, what you can do is whatever artificial candles you've got, battery ones, make a hole in your polystyrene and just sit it in, and that will hold it stable, and it will look like that. And then just put your foliage around it. So there you go. And you can always tweak everything after you've finished with it, and just keep playing around with it.
I haven't anything else to do, just sit here. I've got a spare hand if you need it. I'm just so fascinated watching us. I could actually offer to help here.
No, just enjoy, watch and take it all in. Sometimes, yeah, 2 hands is easier, but I've got quite used to just working with like this. So I'm just tying the string around just to keep it in place, putting in a knot, and I've just lost it. I mean, it doesn't really take long, but it's fun, and you're being creative. You're letting your imagination run riot.
Well, these things always look amazing at Christmas.
They do. They
now
do.
It's nice to know it's within reach of actually having a go myself.
Yeah. I mean, I'm showing you just how simple it is.
Yeah.
Preparation is everything. As long as you've decided what sort of display you want and color scheme, then get your sprays and spray, and remember about the spray, make sure it's well ventilated, just so you're not suffocating.
No, that would be not good.
Remember, these were all either dying or on the ground, which you were going to die anyway. So you're giving them a longer, you're giving them a reason. That one's a bit, there we go. That's
Okay.
better. And again, it's, everyone has their own taste. You don't have to copy everyone and everything. Put your own personality and take into it and run riot, because it's all about having fun. Having fun and doing it all with your imagination. And
You just tease things up to things and just see what
yeah,
you want to do. Yeah.
yeah. You know, you can, if you're not happy with it, take it out and put something else in. And
That's lovely. You've got the candle to drop in the middle, see what that looks like.
you'll need a taller.
I will, won't I?
Yeah. But what you can do, because if this is a real, then get one of the church candles,
Yeah.
pop it in, and then your foliage is safe because it's protected by the glass. So you can still, even a smelly candle. I love my smelly candles, love them. So get one of your tall smelly candles, stick them in there. You can even get, you know, the candle stands and stand it in at the bottom and then put your candle on top. Doesn't have to be a church candle. It can be your smelly candles.
That's lovely. Thanks so much for coming and showing us how to do that.
Well, I'm just hoping everyone can see the finished product. I'll clear this away and swing it round so that you can all see. So
I just move the screen down a wee bit for everybody.
yeah.
Kerry's head off, but we won't worry about that.
Yeah. No, it's all about the flowers.
It's all
and
about the
foliage.
flowers and the foliage. Look at that, guys.
And voila. And that, folks, is how easy it is to do.
That's amazing.
It's even more fun with a bottle of wine and go. The only thing is, though, expect a lot of mess.
Yeah. So, Kerry, tell us about the workshop you've got coming up, because I know you mentioned it earlier.
Yes.
When are you going to hold that, do you know?
The first one is December the 11th, Saturday,
Okay.
12 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one is really, it's about revamping your Christmas tree, your baubles, anything. We're going to revamp them because how many Christmas baubles? Because we do different colour schemes every year, right? And we end up with a bag that full of Christmas baubles we're not using. And they're taking up space, let's face it. So, the magic spray and glitter. So I'm going to be showing ones in the first workshop how you can change everything.
Is it going to be available on Zoom? Are you doing it a Zoom or is it?
I will be doing it online as well.
Yeah.
I'll be doing a Zoom one and also a physical one.
Okay. So how do we sign up for it?
Go on to KD Occassions Facebook page.
Yeah.
Ask to join our wedding and events group.
Yeah.
And then you will be given all the info there.
Uh-huh.
And you can book either your virtual or your physical workshop on that group.
Okay.
And then the next one will be the following Saturday, and that will be about the fresh foliage and all the different types. And then the one after that is going to be our Christmas trees.
Oh.
Our Christmas trees.
Okay, so we'll find all that information on your Facebook page.
You will. KD Occassions Facebook page.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for doing that, Kerry.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. I've had so much fun.
And Kerry has set me a challenge. I've got some window dressing to do in my kitchen. So now I've got some tips on how to do it. Yay!
You see, there is no point doing something like this if you're not going to try it yourself.
Exactly.
And remember, you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
You literally can't.
Yeah.
You can't. It's so easy. You can't go wrong.
All right. Well, thanks very much. And I'll just say goodbye to you all now.
Bye. Happy Christmas.
Merry Christmas.